You know that feeling, right? You walk out to your garden on a beautiful morning, dreaming of that crisp, fresh Caesar salad for lunch, only to realize something else got to it first. Look at this. It looks more like a lace doily than lunch. I swear, the slugs and aphids hosted a dinner party last night. And guess who wasn't invited? Me. Nothing kills the gardening vibe faster than seeing your hard work devoured. So the big question is, how do we stop these thieves without drenching our future salad in harsh chemicals? Because we definitely don't want to eat that stuff, right? The answer isn't a spray, it's a strategy. It's about bringing in backup. What if I told you that your lettuce is just lonely? What if the secret to pest-free greens isn't about fighting the pests but about choosing the right friends for your lettuce? Today, I'm revealing my top 8 plant allies, the bodyguards of the garden. These specific plants will confuse, repel, and even trap the pests that are trying to ruin your harvest. But which ones actually work and which one is just a gardening myth? Stick around because the ally number 6 is a flower that literally sacrifices itself to save your salad. Ready to build your fortress? Let's get planting. So, we need protection, but we don't want to build a wall around our lettuce, we want to build an ecosystem. The first line of defense? It starts with the nose. Have you ever walked into a room and smelled fresh cookies? You know exactly where to go, right? Well, pests like aphids and slugs hunt for your lettuce the same way, by scent. But what happens if we confuse their GPS? Enter ally number 1, chives. By planting these pungent little guys around your lettuce, you create an aromatic barrier. The strong scent masks the sweet smell of the lettuce. It's like trying to smell a single rose inside a garlic factory. It just scrambles their radar. Plus, spiritually speaking, chives bring a fierce protective energy to the garden. They set a boundary, but scent only stops some invaders. What about the ones that aren't easily confused, or the fungal diseases lurking in the soil? For that, we need something a little stronger. We all know garlic keeps vampires away, but did you know it's arguably the best broad-spectrum antibiotic your garden has? Ally number 2 is garlic. You see, garlic accumulates sulfur, and Japanese beetles, aphids, and even certain mildews hate sulfur. It's nature's fungicide. By interplanting this, you aren't just repelling bugs, you're literally cleaning the soil energy around your vulnerable greens. Think of garlic as the grumpy immune system of your garden bed. It fights off the infection so the lettuce doesn't have to. But here's a question. Garlic and chives are great defenders, but they take up root space. Can you plant something that protects the lettuce without fighting it for nutrients? The answer is yes, if you understand the architecture of the soil. Let's talk about ally number 3, carrots. Lettuce has shallow roots, it drinks from the surface cup. Carrots, they drill deep. They draw nutrients from a completely different level of the soil. They are the perfect roommates. Neither one steals the other's lunch. But here's the kicker. When you let a few carrots flower, those tiny white blooms act like a landing pad for parasitic wasps. Now, I know parasitic wasp sounds like a horror movie villain, but trust me, they are the good guys. They eat the caterpillars that eat your salad. So we have defenders, chives, garlic, and we have peacekeepers, carrots. But sometimes the pest pressure is just too high. Sometimes you can't scare them away. What do you do then? Do you give up? No, you offer them a better deal. This is where ancient wisdom gets a little intense. Ally number 4 is the radish. Flea beetles are notorious for turning lettuce into Swiss cheese, but guess what? They love radish leaves even more. This is called a trap crop. You plant the radishes away from the lettuce, or in a circle around it. The pests swarm the radishes and leave your lettuce alone. The radish takes the hit. It creates a shield of sacrifice. It's noble, really. So the radish takes the bullet for the flea beetles. But what about the pests that attack from the soil up, or the ones that suck the life out of the stems? We need to go deeper, and we need the ally that does double duty, feeding the soil and the gardener. Coming up, we've got a root that sweetens the earth, and a flower that is literally an aphid magnet, and it tastes like pepper. You won't believe how effective this next one is. So, radishes take the hit for us. But defense isn't just about sacrificing soldiers, it's about building a strong foundation. Because if your lettuce is stressed, it sends out a chemical signal that basically rings a dinner bell for pests. So, how do we keep the lettuce calm and grounded? We call in ally number 5, beets. Just like carrots, beets are root crops that don't compete with lettuce. But beets bring something else to the table. They are heavy feeders of magnesium, and they help structure the soil deep down. Think of beets as the anchor. They loosen the subsoil so the lettuce can breathe better near the surface. Healthy soil structure means resilient plants. And a resilient plant can shrug off a bug bite that would kill a weak one. But what if the invasion is overwhelming? What if the aphids arrive in the millions? Then you need a distraction so beautiful, the pests can't resist. Ally number 6 is the nasturtium. This is my absolute favorite. Aphids are obsessed with nasturtiums, its chemical attraction. By planting these nearby, you are literally guiding the aphids away from your lunch and onto these flowers. It's a peace treaty. You eat this, I eat that. Plus, they're edible. Peppery, spicy, delicious. You get a salad garnish, and the aphids get a home, just not on your lettuce. But speaking of strong flavors, have you ever noticed that some plants just smell clean? Ally number 7 is cilantro. Now, I know cilantro is polarizing. You either love it or it tastes like soap, but spider mites, they absolutely hate it. Lettuce loves cool weather. Cilantro loves cool weather. They are best friends. And when the cilantro eventually flowers, it attracts tiny beneficial insects that clean up the microscopic pests you can't even see. It keeps the energy of the bed clear. But we've done a lot of repelling and distracting. Isn't it time we went on the offensive? Sometimes, you need to call in the cavalry. Ally number 8 is dill. See these tiny yellow flowers? They act like a landing strip for ladybugs and parasitic wasps. These are the predators. By planting dill, you aren't just planting an herb, you are sending up a flare signal that says all-you-can-eat buffet for beneficial bugs. The dill brings in the good guys, who eat the bad guys, like cabbage loopers and aphids, keeping your lettuce safe. It's the circle of life happening right in your raised bed. Now, stop. Before you run out and just throw all these seeds into the ground, we need to talk. Because I have seen gardeners ruin their lettuce harvest by planting the wrong friends. Not every plant is an ally. In fact, some are bullies. You need to avoid the sun blockers. Lettuce needs light to stay crisp. If you plant it next to a huge, bushy plant like a sprawling tomato or a dense broccoli too early, the lettuce will get leggy and weak. Weak plants attract pests. See the cycle? And be careful with slug hotels. Thick matting plants like strawberries can sometimes trap too much moisture right against the lettuce leaves. Slugs love that dark, damp environment. You want airflow. So the rule is, give them space to breathe. Don't crowd them with bullies. So we know who the friends are, and we know who the bullies are. But how do you actually fit all this into a garden bed without it looking like a jungle? So, we know the friends, and we know the bullies. But how do you arrange the seating chart so everyone gets along? It comes down to 3 simple rules of engagement. Rule number 1, respect the personal bubble. It's tempting to cram everything in tight to maximize space, but airflow is your invisible ally. Keep your lettuce spaced about 8 to 10 inches apart, and plant your allies, like the garlic and chives, in the gaps. If leaves are touching constantly, moisture gets trapped. And moisture equals mold. Rule number 2, water the feet, not the face. Pests and diseases love wet leaves. If you splash water everywhere, you're basically inviting mildew to move in. Water the soil, keep the energy grounded. And rule number 3, the element of surprise. Never plant your lettuce in the exact same spot 2 seasons in a row. Pests leave eggs in the soil, waiting for the buffet to return. By rotating your crops, the pests wake up expecting breakfast and find, I don't know, maybe a potato. It confuses them. But the most powerful tool isn't a trowel or a hose, it's you. The old saying goes, the best fertilizer is the gardener's shadow. Being present, observing your plants daily, and catching that first aphid before it becomes an army, that is the real spiritual practice of gardening. Growing food is a partnership. You, the soil, the plants, and yes, even the bugs. When you stop fighting nature and start working with these allies, the garden stops being a battleground and starts being a sanctuary. Now, I've shared my top 8 allies, but I know this community is full of wisdom. I want to know, do you have a secret weapon for pest-free lettuce? Maybe a specific flower I missed, or a trick your grandmother taught you? Drop it in the comments below. Let's build a resource down there so we can all learn from each other. If you found value in this video, please hit that like button. It helps these plant tips reach more gardeners. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the garden. Until next time, keep growing.